team Kyrgyzstan Dojian.
Okay, guys, here we are on Antigua Shipyard, and in the left from the team Quantic, in the blue, it is Apocalypse. Look out, it's 2012 and Apocalypse is here. All right, and on the right side of the map, in the red from the team EG, winner of our last game, it is DeMusliM.
All right, so TBT action cross positions on Antigua Shipyard. See, they're using the IPL version, as there are still gold minerals there. Of course, that won't favor any one of these players because they both have the mule mechanic to drop down on that. But yeah, like I said before, Quantic Apocalypse loves playing a very aggressive brand of Terran that's actually gotten him into trouble in Team Arena Challenge a couple of times back in Season 1 and things like that. So.
You know, though, DeMusliM is one of those Terran players as well, though, that's not afraid to go just like Marine Medevac on occasion, so he could meet him, you know, aggression to aggression here on this map. I gotta wonder, though, about Quantic Apocalypse's tag there. Couldn't he have just fit QxG.Apocalypse? Wouldn't that fit? Instead of Quantic Apoc?
So, let's see here. Apoc would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think it gets close, yeah.
I don't know. Just curious.
Yeah.
Just kind of noticed that. I don't know.
Maybe he likes the way that flows.
Could be.
Quantic Apoc.
True. Well, there's the barracks. So no sort of craziness like a CC first from either of these guys. Wouldn't be surprised to see a CC after barracks, though. It's fairly normal. Oh, but there is a gas. You know, it is a good map for Banshees, too. So, and it is TVT, so there's kind of a multitude of different openings you can see.
Sure.
Banshees on this map are very common, though.
And Mr. Baker did go 15 gas last time around, so we'll see if he goes after the same thing here or if this is going to be just a normal, because last time I thought he was going to go straight for a gasless FE, but look at that, throwing down gas on 15 once again.
You said Mr. Baker, and I thought of Doctor Who immediately. Wasn't there an actor's last name Baker that played Doctor Who?
Oh, I would imagine so.
I think there was.
Oh, there's been 4 million people that have played Doctor Who.
That's true, yep. More people played Doctor Who than James Bond. I wouldn't be surprised. I actually think that's true, honestly.
I see. I thought you. I was going with you because that sounded like I've heard that before.
I was just saying it was kind of a joke, but now that I think about it, that may actually
very well be. I don't know.
We'll have to IMDb it or something like that.
That's
Reaper
true,
expand from Apocalypse. And I love Reapers. I really feel like there's a bigger place in the StarCraft 2 world for Reapers that people just haven't found yet, or haven't rediscovered, I guess you could say.
I tend to think that as well.
Yeah, but he's going to be able to get a good look at what's going on in DeMusliM space, and also get a fast expand himself with this.
Right, and Apocalypse bringing his SCV back home. He is content with finding a wall up the front and then coming home. He's like, I did my job.
Yeah, no reason to risk losing the SCV when you can just pop a Reaper in there later. There is the command center for DeMusliM, so it will just be a expand from him. He is kind of collecting some gas, though, saving up a little bit more gas before doing anything with it. There's a factory right now, and you know, this is something that looks like it's going to be another Reaper expand build from DeMusliM. Or not Reaper expand, I'm sorry, Reactor Hellion expand.
I know what you meant. Yeah. So there is indeed a factory and a reactor coming down. If this has been a factory with a Reaper on top of that, it would have been some sort of a crazy Reaper speed build.
That would be
awesome to watch.
That would be very cool. I like that. I think only like Boxer and Marine King are doing that right now, though.
Oh, Boxer's version of it is so much fun to watch, though.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Apocalypse adding on barracks number 2 and 3 now as he goes along with that command center. Back on DeMusliM side of things, he is not...
there's the Reaper.
Yep, sorry, he did make his way in, got 1 kill, but was immediately driven away after that. But what did the Reaper see?
He didn't see the factory. All right, but he knows there's got to be one there, of course. I mean, he saw both gases. You wouldn't be mining from that long and not have a factory at that point, so... And he's going to come in just to check, but the Reaper's going to die, so he's still not going to know. But I think he can make a pretty good educated guess that there is a factor there. You know, actually, when he jumped up there, I bet he saw it on the reactor.
Let's go ahead and take a look.
I bet he did.
Grab his vision.
Oh, he actually didn't. Okay. So I'll go back to my earlier thing I was saying, where he should be able to make a good educated guess about what's going on here. But yeah. Ultimately, he doesn't know really what DeMusliM's up to at this point.
No, because he pulled back his SCV, no delayed scouting or anything like that. Was relying on the Reaper, and unfortunately, it didn't get in there and see all that much. DeMusliM, of course, switching over to a tech lab on his starport. We'll see how quickly he moves into... We'll see if this is going to be a cloaked version of Banshees or just Banshees by themselves.
Well, he's got the gas that he could add on cloak a little bit later. Otherwise, if he was doing something like going mech, he could also add another factory at this point as well. So we'll have to see what he chooses to do.
he's been up to that 200 level a few different times and hasn't gone over to Cloak quite yet. So I think he's going to bypass that. But Apocalypse setting down his next orbital command, despite the fact that it was started a little bit later than his opponent. Whoa, he's got to watch out. That poor SUV is going to get roasted.
Yeah, that bunker will never finish, sadly. Well, it might still finish. We'll see. Hellion does get chased out, but Apocalypse... I'm sorry. I'm just actually not going to finish that sentence. It was going nowhere.
No
Second
problem.
factory, though, for DeMusliM, which is pretty exciting. I would be very interested in seeing this guy go mech. Could just decide to use, a third factory, so I would say he is indeed definitely going mech.
Right.
My favorite style of any sort of Terran matchup.
And his opponent, of course, is just going super, super heavy Marines with Medevac's going to be added on in a second. And I know how much you love mech, man.
So here's the situation. DeMusliM, well, he's going to try to get in here and maybe do a bit of damage. But looking farther than that, if he plays it safe, if he plays mech correctly against just Marine, he should not have any trouble at all beating Apocalypse. I mean, you can get the positioning. You don't need to move out on the map. Can take those 3 bases, and you can also kill a lot of SCVs, apparently, too.
Yeah, he's really got to watch out now. The Mule goes down as well. There was just one Marine up the front in this bunker, and he knew it right away, and this Banshee's coming right through the back once again to start doing some more damage.
Man, DeMusliM is just playing like a boss today. I got to say, I'm impressed. He's getting Blue Flame as well for these Hellions, and yeah, I mean, the nice thing about this map is you can just literally sit on 3 bases. Look at that, getting the Raven to make sure that he's not going to be able to get kind of surprised by any Marauders down the line. If you're going to go mech, you definitely want to produce a Raven pretty early out of that starport.
Yeah, accumulating that energy is very important. The Raven has multiple uses in the mech composition as well. We already have our first armory coming up, I believe, for DeMusliM. Yeah, I don't see another one, so that's the first one he's got. He'll launch into some upgrades and possibly add in some Thors in a bit. Now, of course, his opponent is finally putting up a tech lab on that factory, so we will move into the siege take phase as well, but of course he decided, to go with a very heavy Marine medevac composition, and this should tell you how well that DeMusliM is doing at the moment, because despite the fact that his opponent has been trying to pump out nothing but super cheap units, he's still maintaining a good supply advantage over his opponent.
Well, the thing is, too, is if you go Marine tank against mech, you generally should not be winning fights, because Blue Flame Hellions just destroy the Marines.
Yeah.
And then at that point, it's only tanks against the rest of the mech army. So, yeah, it's very difficult to go Marine tank, and he's starting to add on Marauders now. So,
there we go.
The good decision at this point would be to just go Marine Marauder, you know, and just try to be positional and out-drop and out-maneuver your opponent. Going Marine tank is definitely not the answer. And yeah, there we go. Drop on the way. So that's a good start for Apocalypse. We'll have to see if DeMusliM can react to it in time.
Certainly. There's no siege tech researched yet. So, but it looks like DeMusliM is going to pick up on the medevacs. Is he going to shift some units back? There's a Raven coming. Raven to save the day. There we have some Hellions retreating as well.
Yep.
And looks like Apocalypse just going to back out of there at the moment. Yeah. He has not, I don't believe, started his third command center. No. Still working off of just 2 at the moment. Of course, DeMusliM's halfway through finishing up his third.
Yeah, the fun thing about mech is that in a lot of cases you can be more tech-heavy and also expand quicker than your opponent too, just because you can set up that defensive position, and you don't necessarily need siege mode all that fast to do it too, especially against something like that. The Hellions kill the Marines so quickly that if they don't really have Marauders in there, as you can see that Quantic Apocalypse only has 1 right now, you can basically just win the war of attrition.
And let's go ahead and see here what he's going to do. He is moving out to the left-hand side. He showed a willingness to drop before, but DeMusliM had a lot of units very well positioned to shoot down just that. Look at this. This little squadron of Air Forces running around is so good at preventing drops. And DeMusliM now lifting over his command center to his third and just continuing to flood the field with tanks and a bunch of Hellions. Siege mode, though, importantly, not done yet, and it looks like Apocalypse wants to strike here in a bit. He may be able to hit before siege mode finishes.
Yep, and at that point, it's going to have to come down to DeMusliM controlling his Hellions properly to take that out, because those Marines do put out a lot of DPS, and if you don't position your Hellions properly, you will lose that fight. But pretty good. Oh, that command center, though. He might actually lose that command center. In fact, he will.
Yeah, I think he is.
Oh, man.
Down to 30 points of health and done.
Wow.
That was pretty good. And he's got a great position sitting here on the high ground as well. He's just run through all of those Hellions.
Oh,
and siege mode has not been initialized yet. Apocalypse just turned this game on its head, and he is crushing through DeMuslim's army.
Yeah, absolutely. A little bit too much of a knee-jerk reaction by DeMusliM, and that is the end of the game. Man, well, that really shows it all comes down to the engagement there. And that was not the best engagement for EG.DeMusliM at all.